You're welcome back. Now, in line with Diabetes Awareness Month, you know, we had a conversation about diabetes and the types and some of the symptoms. Not all, because apparently there are more symptoms to be discussed next week. So we're moving into the nutrition segment, and still in line with diabetes, we're going to be talking about nutrition and diabetes management. And to help us do this is Hillary Clinton. She's a dietitian with Enna Consult, and she's going to help us talk about type 1 diabetes and how to use nutrition to manage it. Thank you for joining us, Hillary. How are you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very well. It's your first time here with us on Sunday breakfast.
Yes.
But your name is interesting, though.
Extremely.
I just had to touch on it. Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
You're a strong woman.
Do you get that a lot?
Every single time, everywhere I go.
Everywhere you go. You must be tired of hearing it. Wow.
Oh.
Interesting.
All right, Hillary, let's talk about, this is a big word, but simply type 1. So we've talked about risk factors and the complications already. So let's just talk about nutritional goals for managing diabetes.
So we are going to start from the top.
Okay.
Okay. We want everyone to understand what diabetes is. Type 1 usually affects children or in the early days. Okay. We all need fuel in our cars to move, right? Everything we eat at the end of the day turns into sugar. So your rice is turning into sugar, your yam is turning into sugar, your proteins, everything turns into sugar. You don't necessarily have to eat sugar to get sugar in the blood. Now, after eating your rice, your yam, it turns into sugar and it's in your blood. You need something called insulin to move it from the blood to the body cells. Just like the cars need the fuel, the body needs this energy or this sugar to move. Your brain working is because of the sugar. You walking around is because of the sugar. So there is something called insulin that moves the sugar from the blood to the body cells. But then in type 1, there's this autoimmune systemic thing going on that hinders the insulin from working. So it's not as if the person has done anything for this to happen, but then the body is fighting against its own self and causing insulin resistance. So now the insulin is not able to work as much as supposed to. Okay, so our main goal for nutrition with managing diabetes is making sure we halt the complications, no further complications with the vision loss and all that. We try to halt that with using unprocessed meals and all that. So main goal, halt complications, control the blood sugars, and if there is any weight gain related to that, we can work around that too.
So what kind of foods should I be looking at
for managing diabetes? So we'll go for whole unprocessed foods. So your whole grains, your lean cut of protein, okay? So not just any kind of protein, yes. So when you take a piece of meat, there shouldn't be any visible fat on it.
Okay.
No processed proteins. So your sausages, your ham, your bacon, they are all out. Your fats are supposed to be very healthy as well. So avocado, olive oil. Usually you hear people saying there's good oil and there's bad oil. Some oils have cholesterol, but then there is some tricks to it. You have to be very specific. Healthy fats, that is our goal, using those ones.
When you say there's some tricks to it, what exactly do you mean?
There are some companies that will tell you their oil is cholesterol free, but then there is good cholesterol and there is bad cholesterol. The body actually needs both. Okay, and the good one is mainly in the plant sources. So your vegetable oils, they are quite good. But then the oils from the animal sources, like the strider you were talking about, those ones are where the cholesterol comes from. The bad cholesterol, that is where it comes from. Do you get it? Good. So we'll stick to the plant sources, the ones that are cold pressed, not over processed. Some oils have to go through a very long heating process before we can make them. So those ones are not so healthy for us anymore.
Right. And you were talking about wholesome grains. What kind of grains should we be looking at?
When I walked in, I heard you guys talking about rice.
Yes.
We all like basmati, perfumed rice, but then we'd go for the complex carbohydrates. So unprocessed, we are not going to polish the rice. So your normal rice just after harvesting without it being polished, it has a coating around it, a brown coating. So brown rice. A healthier option to the polished rice.
As nice.
but then that is what will help us. So we have to go according to that.
And I always say, don't focus on the taste. Focus on the benefits that it's giving your body.
Taste is acquired.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But it's difficult to adjust
After
your
some
taste
time,
to
after
brown
some
rice.
time, you get used to it.
So aside the rice, what else?
You can go for wheat, even corn. Some people find a way to sieve it when they are processing it.
Okay.
So we can keep all the fiber in there. So fiber is the main thing we are talking about with the whole unprocessed cereals and grains. So we keep the fiber in there, we are good to go.
Okay, so you've spoken about foods that we can eat. What about those we have to completely avoid if we have diabetes?
We've spoken about one already.
Yes, the fats.
So your proteins with the visible fat on it, deep fried stuff. Okay, it has a lot of oils. Oil has the most calories, and calories is directly proportional to your energy or the sugar in the blood at the end of the day. So more fats, more calories, more sugar in the blood. So anything that is deep fried, we are taking it out. I always say anything you can steam, grill, boil, you are not going to fry. So if you can boil your eggs, you are not frying it. If you can boil your plantain, your yam, I'm not going to be eating fried yam anymore.
The kelewele, kelewele, when you boil it, the plantain you boil it, it's not the same, The kelewele has to, it's some small spices, so,
See?
Hillary, some way.
I spoke about when oil goes through a lot of heating process, it gets damaged. The kelewele they are making, that oil has been used like 100 times already.
Me in my house, I use it once.
You're doing it yourself.
Okay, we can shallow fry or you can air fry. Okay. Make sure you're using just a little oil. We don't want to leave residue because we can't reuse that oil, and you don't want to throw the oil away.
So the problem then is the deep frying.
Yes.
So the deep frying machines, we should throw them somewhere.
Throw them somewhere.
Hey,
it's someone's money, someone's hard-earned money, someone's company. So they would like it in the market.
What's the role of exercise in all of this, right? I ask because people go to the gym and they have the notion that I can eat whatever I want to eat because I'll burn it all out in the gym later. Is there a correlation? And is that really the case where, well, you can, like you mentioned, good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. So let me eat the pork, let me relax and eat it proper and later burn it all out in the gym. Is that really the case?
That is, at the end of the day, you've done nothing. Because everything you've worked out for, you've taken it back in. Okay, so if you want to add physical activity, which you should make sure that you are making progress by not going back to your old habits. So say you need 2,000 calories in a day, you are burning, say, 500 in the gym. Why should you take 2,500 at the end of the day? That is like, you shouldn't have even worked out because there is no use. So if you are doing something, you do it the right way. You burn the 500 and you let the body work on the rest. So physical activity is needed, but then it should go in line with a healthy diet. Okay.
Hand in hand.
Hand in hand. They work together.
Then my next question to you would be the role of nutrient supplements, all these protein supplements and all of that, still in relation to conversations around diabetes. Because, people say, well, I don't eat this, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. But at the end of the day, they have all of these different products they get from these shelves, from these big malls that are like protein supplements, are all sorts of things, right? Okay. What is that professional advice on the use of some of these products?
So with supplementation is a second option. You're supposed to get all the nutrients you need from your intake, from your food. So be it proteins, the minerals, the vitamins, you're supposed to get it from your intake. When that is not feasible, that is when we lean on the supplementation. But then the supplements the bodybuilders use is actually different from the supplements used in the hospital. So even with the whey proteins they use, they are different. There is, in the hospital, we use a hydrolyzed version of it, which is different from what the bodybuilders use. So it depends on what you are doing. You just need a professional to guide you. So supplementation is not so bad. It depends. If you're not getting it from your intake, you can lean on that, but then the right way.
So it shouldn't be your go-to option.
No,
it's always an alternative.
Yes, your second option, not the main option.
And even that, it should be on the advice of a professional.
Exactly.
Like a registered dietitian.
Yes, please.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk us through protein and carbohydrates in managing, my diabetes
Okay.
What should I be doing and what should I not be doing?
I usually don't restrict people when it comes to diabetes.
Okay.
I say you can take anything. It depends on the quality of what you are taking, the quantity, and the time. People usually eat at any time thinking the body doesn't really know anything about time and the body doesn't know it's 2 a.m. But then the hormones work at specific times, so we have to go according to that. Okay, so your breakfast is supposed to be at a specific time. The body has a memory. It has to be within a range every single day. You don't skip your breakfast. Your lunch at specific times, your dinner at specific times. Your proteins are as important as your carbohydrates. It will take almost the same quantity of your meal. So if you are taking 2 ladles of rice, your protein should be around that quantity. So you're supposed to have a lot of protein on your food actually. And your carbohydrates, you can have anything like I said. It's the quality of it. You are prioritizing fiber. You are cutting down all the refined carbohydrates. So your fizzy drinks, all those things, your sugary snacks, you are cutting them off. So your complex carbohydrates with a lot of fiber in it and your proteins, lean cuts, you are good.
The healthy fats you were talking about, how do they help me manage my diabetes?
They help with, so there's something called the metabolic syndrome. It comprises diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and obesity. Once you have 1 or 2 in, the rest automatically starts picking up. So when we tell you maybe your cholesterol is high or maybe your blood pressure is high, if care is not taken, you realize your sugars start going high, you start putting on weight and all that. They work hand in hand. So the good fats, they help with the cholesterol and they also help with insulin sensitivity. So say your door, there's a key you open the door with, right? When you have diabetes, sometimes the body, the shape of the key becomes disfigured. So now when you put your key in your lock, it's not working. But when you're taking good fats, the key is the same as the lock and you're able to open it. So now when the insulin gets into the body or when the body is using the insulin, it's able to work effectively and make sure it mops up all the sugar in the blood, takes it to the body cells so that the body can use it.
Interesting. I'm learning a lot. We haven't spoken about vegetables though. So what role do vegetables play in managing diabetes?
We spoke about complex carbohydrates.
Okay.
So vegetables are the easiest or simplest go-to for complex carbohydrates. They have a lot of fiber. People usually think vegetables are cabbage, carrots and all that. But then your ademe is vegetables. Your garden eggs, your contumely, they are all vegetables. So the ones accessible to you, you should make use of it. You don't necessarily need maybe lettuce or broccoli to make sure that you are taking your vegetables. They are very cheap and affordable options as well.
And so if I have a plate in front of me, how many or how much vegetables, how much protein, how much of everything that you've spoken of carbs, give us the right proportion to eat
so
in managing diabetes?
Managing diabetes is actually a healthy eating plate. That is how we are all supposed to eat, but then we don't, so there's something.
There's something, yeah.
So you're going to divide your plate into 4 quarters. 2 of that is going to your vegetables.
2.
Vegetables does not necessarily mean your salads, your
Okay.
soups, your stews. So you make sure that your soups and your stews have a lot of vegetables in it. You are not sieving your vegetables after blending, because I've spoken about fiber. Once you sieve them before it goes into the soup, you've taken all the fiber out, and that is what we are looking for. So your soup is going to take half of your plate, your stew, half of your plate, or your vegetables, if you want to have a salad, half of your plate. A quarter of it is going to your carbohydrates, so your rice, your yam, your fufu, your banku, a quarter of your plate. Then the other quarter is for your proteins, so your eggs, your fishes, your poultry.
So if someone's eating 2 eggs, it's not bad?
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Because I know somebody who loves eggs.
We like
Everything
eggs.
will add eggs.
Wow.
You can.
Hillary, so what would you say are like the non-negotiables, right? So just don't go after it. Don't yearn for it. Don't consume it if you want to be minded about diabetes and ultimately guard against it.
So refined carbohydrates, like I said, so your sugar sweetened beverages. So I don't want to mention any brand's name, but then all your sweetened beverages,
The
your
fizzy
sodas,
drinks.
your fizzy drinks, you are not going to discard
Chocolates.
that. They are all out.
Candies.
All of them are
Jolly
out.
juice. Do you know Jolly Juice?
Yes, I know Jolly Juice.
So we can't be drinking Jolly
No, you
Juice.
can't be
We
drinking
can't
Jolly
allow our
Juice.
children drink Jolly Juice. Wow, that is rather sad.
And your fried stuff, we are not going to even talk about.
Really? Don't
No,
do this.
that option.
Okay.
Even if you want to have fried plantain with your beans, I prefer you go for boiled plantain. You can try that, it's nice.
No.
The taste is acquired.
Gobe with well planted.
It's not a sin. You know,
It is.
Yeah, like,
You don't try it, you should try it. The taste is still the same, it's still very sweet.
wow.
This is where I draw the line.
You can roast the plantain if you want.
So you should
Our producer said, NRE loaded.
so now we should do it. Coffee broke man.
Try
No,
that.
some way.
It's a better option. It's better to
I've
eat
drawn a
healthy
line.
now
Yeah.
than be very sick and you can't eat anything.
Suffer the
at all.
complications later,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for your time. I've
You've learned something.
I want to say I've learned something, but I'm still battling it in my mind. But I think it was highly educative, highly insightful. So we are grateful for your time.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Hillary. Interesting.
Monday we'll eat
We'll eat
roasted plantain and
gobe.
beans. Yeah.
We'll try it and then we'll let Hillary know how it tastes.
Yes, I'm waiting for the feedback.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Don't go away. If you are a fan, you can try the beans and the boiled plantain or the roasted plantain.
How can
with
you
Jude
tell
and
me the
I
story?
on Monday and then tell us all about it on Sunday breakfast. We'll be right back.